expressed regret over calling Johnny Depp so overrated in his memoir. Brian Cox regretted calling Johnny Depp so overrated in his memoir, putting the rabbit in the hat. Read on to learn more about his regret. The Succession star, Brian Cox, blasted Depp's Edward Scissorhands role, but now admits he went too hard and wishes he could take it back. I mean, Edward Scissorhands. Let's face it, if you come on with hands like that and pale, scarred face makeup, you don't have to do anything. And he didn't. And subsequently, he's done even less, Cox wrote. Ouch. But when asked about those words on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Cox couldn't help but roll his eyes at his younger, more impulsive self. Rocking a jazzy floral shirt, of course, he shrugged and admitted, I just thought I was being a bit harsh. You know what it's like, you go for the easy joke. And I went for the easy joke. Classic case of a well-intentioned roast gone too far, right? Cox added, I was just being a bit glib, a bit flip. Apparently, the backlash was loud and clear. When Kimmel asked if he'd heard from Depp directly, Cox quipped, No, I've heard a lot from they call it a fan club, but I think it's some kind of CIA agency that works on his behalf. They weren't too happy. It's safe to say Depp's fans weren't exactly sending flowers after that burn. However, Cox wasn't just taking a walk of shame. In fact, he's now writing an addendum for the paperback version of the memoir, which, well, hasn't been released yet. I think if you're going to do something like that, you really have to tell the truth. Shoot the devil. It was cathartic, necessary, Cox explained. It wasn't all shade though. He clarified that he had no ill intentions and that his comments weren't personal. Depp wasn't the only one who caught a verbal punch. Cox also threw some shade at David Bowie, Ed Norton, and even Quentin Tarantino. Speaking of Tarantino, Cox had this to say, I find his work meretricious. It's all surface. Plot mechanics in place of depth. Style where there should be substance. If that wasn't enough, Cox was clear about why he went hard in the paint with his memoir. I wanted to look at certain things in the light of one's experience and be as truthful as I could be, Cox said. He wasn't holding back. But, naturally, with truth-telling came some pangs of doubt. Am I being unfair to people? Am I being unkind? In the end, it was a cathartic experience for Cox, one that allowed him to air out his thoughts, though it seems he's softening his stance on Depp. After all, we all know sometimes you regret the easy jokes, especially